Oh, well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Welcome to the afternoon feeding frenzy. And just sitting here playing with the fish a little bit. You know, they're hungry. They want to be fed. They want to be fed. And I come out here in the afternoon to feed them, and I'm working on training my babies. They're actually getting pretty good. I'm trying to teach them to actually just follow along with my hand. So wherever my hand goes, they'll kind of follow along with me. I need to be down a little lower so they can really see it. But anyway, I was sitting here thinking, Stephen Jones always says that player acquisition is a 365-day-a-year job. You are always looking for players that are going to make your team better, and that's the bottom line. At least that's what they tell us. You know, so when it comes to Des Bryant, for example, they said, we'll look at Des Bryant because, if the bottom line is if he makes us a better team, hey, we'll do that. So we've been talking about Jamal Adams. Jamal Adams really wants to be a Dallas Cowboy. And I would love to have Jamal Adams for a Dallas Cowboys because he would make the defense better. However, you have to look at the totality of the situation. When, you're talking about giving up a number one pick, you're talking about getting a number one pick, a guy in the first round that literally isn't going to cost you crap the first 4 to 5 years because he is a rookie. And you're getting somebody who's at the beginning of their career who doesn't have miles on it. So that is a premium. That's a tough thing to give up. But then when you start talking about a second pick and or somebody the caliber of a Lyle Collins, you're nuts. I hated us moving up using a first and a second round for Morris Claiborne because it wasn't just that first round pick that you were basically taking a shot on him. You were wasting a second round pick. That second round pick should have been a starter on your team for 5, 6, 7 years. Now you've taken those two and you got a guy who's not worth either one. So you miss out. And so trading that number one, although I agree with getting Amari Cooper because I don't think we could have gotten somebody there. And maybe if it was a number one for just a number one for Jamal Adams, I'd be all on board on that. But to me, that's just too much to sacrifice. But you think about the season that Jamal Adams had last year. 75 tackles, 6.5 sacks. He had more sacks than D-Law had. And he had 1 interception. Hey, that's great number. But what if I told you, one other thing too. Jamal Adams wants to be the highest paid safety by far. So he's looking to get somewhere between $16 and $20 million a year. And you're going to have to address that sooner than later. So when you look at Jamal Adams, you're talking about possibility of a draft pick and a player. You're talking about $16 to $20 million a year that you're talking about giving up for him. And do you think for sure that that is the right move to make? Well, I didn't realize this. I remember it happened, but I thought somebody had already gotten him already because Carolina is going through this whole thing where, they're gutting the team. They got rid of Ron Rivera. They ended up getting rid of Cam Newton. They are basically wiping the slate clean and basically looking to rebuild the team, new coach and everything else, and start over and try and build a window. And ultimately, that's the best way to take a team. You want to basically build a team with a new coach and get the players as a group where you can learn together and build towards something. That's what happened with Seattle and Russell Wilson. They got this great defensive players. They got Russell Wilson. They had a great running game. And they had a team, together that played really well for 3-4 years before they got old. You can look at a Green Bay Packers when Aaron Rodgers was younger. They had a great defense. They had a whole young team, but the team got old. And I dare say that that's kind of what's happening with the Eagles. And I know, Eagle fans won't agree with me, but their team has gotten old. They've tried to hang on by getting a lot of veterans and trades and things like that and restructuring deals. But at some point, you just got to start all over and get the team. Now, for us Cowboys, we had that happen and not realize it happened basically because of the 2015 season. Tony Romo got hurt. We ended up being really, really bad, and we ended up getting a quarterback, a running back, and a linebacker, all in the same draft. I mean, we lucked out, and we've literally turned over the roster, and now we have that group of guys that you look at the next, 2-3 years of being young enough and strong enough to hopefully challenge for a Super Bowl. So, here's the thing. What if I said you could get that kind of play like you had for Jamal Adams without giving up a draft pick? And I can't believe that nobody's talked about this at all. But Eric Reid got let go by the Panthers. Eric Reid last year, let me tell you this. Eric Reid last year as a strong safety had 130 tackles, 91 solo, 4 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and I want to say 7 quarterback hits. And he's a free agent. He is a free agent. He was coming off a contract with Carolina that was 3 years, $22 million. $7.25 million per year. Remember, Jamal Adams last year had 75 tackles. 75. Eric Reid had more solo tackles than Jamal Adams had combined. Now, Jamal Adams did get 1 interception, something that Eric Reid didn't get last year. But he is a beast. Now, he's a little bit older, but if you don't have to give up a first-round draft pick, you don't have to give up another player, and you don't have to pay him $16 to $20 million. Now, I know what you're thinking right now, because here's the thing. Eric Reid was one of the originals kneeling with Colin Kaepernick. Eric Reid has been very vocal in the NFL. He was one of the ones that were saying, this is not a good deal with the owners. We need to really look deep. And if you start looking around at the deal has some good things for the players, but it's also got some things that really kind of screw them over. When you look at holding out, for example, you can't hold out. They changed the rules so it's all towards the team. You hold out, you lose a year of your eligibility of getting out quicker. You pay $40,000 for every single day. That's not forgivable. You pay a game check for every preseason game you miss. In essence, you can't hold out. Can't hold out. That's one of the things that they gave up in that. And of course, Eric Reid is still upset about the Colin Kaepernick situation. And Eric Reid was tested on a weekly basis, even though he's never tested positive for any banned substance. So there's that. Now, we know Jerry Jones has been silent on the whole protest this go around. We know his stance on the anthem protest. But you've already got Gerald McCoy, who's a little bit vocal right now as well. And what you look at is this somebody that can make my team better? Is this somebody who could fit my system? Now, hey, he knows Jim Tomsula. He knows Aldon Smith. You've got that going for you. And it may be something that the Cowboys should really and truly look into. 130 tackles, I don't care where you're playing. That's a lot of tackles. Hell, sometimes You have to do what you have to do that you may not like to do to get what you want to be. I always tell people, because a lot of people say, I hate my job. You may hate your job, but see, you got to understand, your job is a means to an end. Your job gives you food on the table, helps you to have a place to live, helps you to be able to go on vacation. You may not like getting up and going there and doing that job, but you like getting the money and what it affects and helps you to do. You know, you get married, you love that woman. You dream about that woman. You're happy you're with that woman. But there's a few things about that woman that you really don't like. You gotta take the good with the bad. Hell, we signed Greg Hardy and we knew he was a bad guy, but we looked at it and said, he can help our team. Well, that one blew up in their face, but you see where I'm going here. Well, that's what I have to say on that one. And well, these guys are like, yo, dude, you're talking too damn much. We're hungry, right? Aren't you hungry, guys? They're hungry. Let me get them something to eat here, because it is the feeding frenzy, which means I need to feed them. All right, guys, let's see if we can get you trained. How's my baby? How's my baby? Huh? How you doing? Come on. Come on and say hi. Say hi to the camera. Look at that. Oh, look at you, big fella. Look at you guys. Look at you. Hey, guys. You know there's no food there, right? You know there's no food in my hand yet. All right, here we go. Did you guys see that? Here we go. Out here a little further. Come on out here, guys. Here we go. All right, here we go. Come on. You guys are crazy. Come on. Come on. I just love these guys. I'm Mark Holmes and giving you some food for thought. I'll talk to you soon.